Welcome to Menopause Moment. I'm Susan Baroncini-Moe. This episode is sponsored by Medterra, our CBD, your health. Okay, today I'm talking about night sweats, the worst symptom of perimenopause and menopause of all time, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's talk about the what and the why of night sweats, and then we'll talk solutions because I have some ideas for you. Okay, so what are night sweats? A night sweat is basically a really bad hot flash that happens in the night, and it's so bad that you sweat and it wakes you up. Okay, they can be some really awful moments. You can be drenched in sweat. There are some women who have to get up and change their clothes. There are women who get up and change the sheets at night. It can be a real nightmare. And at my worst, when I had the most night sweats, I was getting out of bed probably 5 or 6 times a night. I tried to track it, and probably about 5 or 6 times a night, I was getting up, waking up, drenched in sweat. And then because I had the fan on trying to cool me down, I would get really cold because now I had all this sweat, which is what sweat's supposed to do, but I would get really cold. And so then I would pull all the covers on me and hover and shiver. And then I would get really hot again and I'd throw the covers off. And the real challenge is not only are you horribly uncomfortable and waking up and struggling to sleep, but everybody goes through this with you. So your spouse is waking up. Some women have to wake up their husbands to change the sheets. It can be really problematic. So yeah, it's not great. So why do night sweats happen? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Guess what? They don't know. I bet you expected me to say that if you've ever seen an episode of this show, because that's what I always say. When I talk about a symptom of menopause and I go, well, okay, let's talk about why this happens. What's the thing I say the most frequently? They don't know. They don't know why it happens. And I'm getting very tired of saying it, but I'll have to keep saying it. They don't know why it happens. They think that hot flashes have to do with some sort of vascular shift that happens due to neurotransmitter activity that's thrown off because of our erratic hormone levels, but they don't know. They don't know exactly why it happens. Awesome. All right, so what they do know is that, brace yourself, this is not a fancy statistic that should impress you. In fact, it should not impress you, that they know 50 to 85% of women in perimenopause and menopause experience night sweats. That's a pretty big range. It's a pretty big range. So that's the best I can offer. We don't know for sure why, and we don't know for sure how many women have the problem. We just know it's a terrible problem. All right, we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor, and so I can regroup and not be so mad that they don't know why it's happening. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about solutions, because this is a solution-oriented show, and I'm going to give you some answers. For many women, menopause comes with hot flashes and night sweats, and they can be brutal. Mine kept me awake all night, so I was tired and cranky all day long. I tried all kinds of supplements and CBD oils, but nothing put a dent in my hot flashes. Then I started using Medterra's CBD oil, and my hot flashes and night sweats were dramatically reduced in severity and frequency, so I wake up less often and get a lot more sleep. Just a dropper under my tongue in the morning and another one at night, and my hot flashes decreased by about 80%. And unlike many of the CBD oils I tried, there's almost no taste to Medterra's CBD oil, which makes it a lot easier to take. Get your CBD oil at medterra.com today and use the promo code Menopause Moment, all lowercase, for 10% off your order. Okay, we're back. Well, as I mentioned earlier this week, the best solution I have found so far is the BedJet system that I showed you in Tuesday's episode. I'm going to link to that in the cards for today so that you can watch it if you haven't. The system is fantastic, and just to give you a brief recap of what I talked about on Tuesday, it's a machine that sits under your bed if you have enough clearance, or next to your bed. It has a little tube and it goes into your sheet. They have a special sheet that has a little hole, and it's a double pane, and the air goes right in here in the middle, right here in the middle, and it blows air from the floor of your room, which is the coolest air in the room, into the double paneled sheet, which has a stitching down the side so it doesn't affect your spouse, and then it cools you down. So it's a wonderful system. I have not had a night sweat since I installed it. It is life-changing. And I actually called the company to beg them to make me a travel version, because now that I've lived without night sweats for a few weeks, I kind of never want to go back. I'm literally a little bit afraid to travel. So hopefully they make a travel version soon. There is a link in the show notes for today, so you can try it for yourself. And there's also a link right here, so you can let them know that we sent you, and they'll send us a little check to say thank you, and that helps support the show. So please use our link. So that is one of my favorite solutions. I'm going to tell you about my second also favorite solution a little bit later. Now, the bed jet is not cheap, so you may need to look at other options. For example, is your bed breathable? Okay, let's talk about your bed for a minute. There's your bed, there's your mattress, there's your mattress topper, and then there's your bed clothes and your pillow. And all of these things play into whether or not you are hot and having hot night sweats. So breathable beds are really important. I have bad news for you if you have a memory mattress. If you have a memory foam mattress, it's probably exacerbating your problem. Memory foam is known for not being super breathable. And those rubber beds, the natural latex, those are also not super breathable. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out and get a new bed. There are mattress toppers out there, and you can add that. In fact, there are some cooling mattress toppers, and I'm currently testing some so that I can make a fair and reasonable recommendation to you. So keep your eyes open on future episodes where I do some reviews of things like mattress toppers, sheets, pillows, and also PJs. So, okay, now there's something that's important for you to know. And I'm going to say this before I get into any other recommendations. Remember in the trailer, if you haven't seen it, go watch the trailer. But remember in the trailer, I said that we are a target market because every woman will go through menopause. We'll all go through it. So that's half the population, and it makes us a target market, okay? So that means that when sheet manufacturers, for example, found out that we were buying cooling sheets because it mattered to us that we were had cooling environments to sleep in, they started marketing their sheets as cooling. So that's just one example. There are tons of examples out there. Mattresses are commonly sold with people saying, oh, this will keep you cool in the winter, or cool in the summer and warm in the winter and all of that. But there is a reality, which is we have to be able to look beyond the marketing, and that's super tricky. So be very wary and careful when you are buying cooling products, because a lot of them simply don't work. Same with supplements. A lot of them are snake oil. And that's what we have to contend with, because we are a target market and there are people trying to sell us snake oil because we're desperate. So if your mattress is a memory foam mattress, you may think about getting a different kind of mattress topper. And I have a mattress that's made with horsehair, wool, and cotton. And it's supposed to naturally regulate body temperature and wick away moisture. And natural materials are great, but there are some okay man-made materials out there, so don't be fully afraid of them. I do really like the idea of having a bed that is non-toxic though, because you spend so much time in it, and I don't want to breathe in toxins all night. So you want to take a look at your sheets and see, are they breathable? Are they light and airy? Are they crisp? I'm also testing some sheets for you, so keep your eye out for the sheet reviews coming up. And also I think I'm going to be looking at a pillow, and there are some other products I'm looking at for you, because I'm trying to look for anything that can help you. So keep your eyes open, but definitely take a look at your bed, and take a look at your bed clothes, and take a look at what you're wearing to sleep. If you're wearing a lot of clothes, a lot of pajamas, you might consider sleeping either in the nude or wearing cooling or breathable pajamas. And I'm going to be testing some of those for you as well. So look for those in coming episodes. I'm sorry to keep referring you to looking at coming episodes, but the show's new, and we're just starting to make connections with brands and find out all these things are out there. And, this is my journey too. So, okay, let's talk about diets. Everybody's favorite thing, right? When I cleaned up my diet, my husband and I went on Whole30. I noticed a big improvement in not just the way I felt, but the way I slept. So getting the night sweats under control with the bed jet really helped, and with something I'm about to tell you about, that really helped. But also Whole30 has helped with my sleep disruptions. Exercise helps as well, as does any kind of relaxation technique like meditation, especially if you're stressed out, because some of this stuff is caused by stress. There are tons and tons of supplements out there. I mentioned this earlier. I have tried many, and many are snake oil. But I'm going to share with you one that my doctor recommended that has made a world of difference. This is the AM/PM menopause formula from Enzymatic Therapy. They did not reply to my email, so they do not know I'm talking about their product. But it is pretty great. This, I'm going to tell you two things about this. One, the AM formula has a little bit of caffeine. So don't be afraid to try it though, because caffeine is a big trigger for my hot flashes. But this little morning caffeine thing, it's not too much. It does not give me hot flashes. And it took about 1.5 boxes for this to start working. It takes a little time. But after about 1.5 boxes, I stopped having hot flashes during the day. Let me say that again. After taking 1.5 boxes of this, I stopped having hot flashes during the day. Okay, so the morning one has a little caffeine, and that really helps to wake you up, especially if you're having trouble sleeping. The PM formula helps you get to sleep. I still take some melatonin. I'll talk about that in another episode on insomnia. I think that's coming next week. But the PM formula thing I have to tell you is it's a little stinky. So it has valerian root in it. And I think that's what makes it stinky. I've taken valerian root before and it was stinky. So I think that's what makes this supplement a little stinky. So I try to take it out of its little bubble and swallow it really quick so I don't smell it. But you want to wash your hands afterward because it makes your hands a little smelly. So the PM formula is smelly. The AM formula has caffeine. But other than that, this is fantastic. It has actually, you know, nothing else that I'm doing had as big an impact as this. It took 1.5 boxes, so that's 1.5 months, about 6 weeks before it really started working. So give it some time, but this box is about $20, maybe less. And I got this from a market, I can't remember the name of it. It's one of those markets kind of like Whole Foods. You probably can find this at Whole Foods. So, you know, $20 a month, not bad. And it really does help. Important note, don't take medical advice from the internet, okay? Check with your doctor, because supplements, first of all, are not well regulated, and you do have to be careful what you take. There can just be safety concerns. But the other thing is that supplements can interact with your medications that you're already taking. So you want to make sure that you check with your doctor and say, I'm thinking about taking this thing. Will this have an interaction? And also make sure you know that some supplements can have a side effect. So don't take medical advice from me or anyone else on the internet. Check with your doctor. But definitely see if your doctor thinks this could be a good supplement for you. It's definitely worked for me. Be careful with soy products. Plant estrogens can be found in soy, so a lot of people think that eating soy can help ease your symptoms. But here's the thing. At first, in my first few months of perimenopause, I drank so much soy milk and ate so much tofu and edamame and miso, and it made no difference. And I talked to my doctor about that, and she said, well, of course it didn't. You'd have to eat so much soy just to get enough that it would make a difference. So soy may not help much. Now, hormone replacement therapy may be helpful for hot flashes, but if you're taking it short term, when you stop it, the hot flashes might come back. So that can be a challenge. And there are also some potential risks with hormone therapy. So talk with your doctor about whether it's a good option for you. And when you're talking with your doctor about that, there may be some other options medically in terms of pharmaceuticals that may be useful. So check that out. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about CBD oil. You guys know I love Medterra. And you get a little discount. So check in the show notes for your discount code so you can get a discount on your CBD oil, because I think CBD oil is fantastic, makes a big difference, is very calming, and can really help with hot flash symptoms as well. Okay, let's talk about fans. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about today. I've shown you one of my favorite fans before, but today I'm going to show you a little fan that the people at Blow Me Cool sent me, and I'm going to tell you why I like it. This is it. It's little, and it gives you a little boost of, sometimes I have to push the button a couple of times. Oh, good. I was afraid I've been using it and I was afraid it had kind of blown out and then I've used it up. You charge this thing through your little USB guy. And it's not a huge, you could see, it's not a huge fan. It doesn't give a ton of air, and you can hear it's not super loud. And what's nice about it is it fits in your hand, and you can see how big it is. It would fit in my purse pretty nicely, much better than the big one I've shown you before. And it's a nice little deal, and it gives you a nice little bit of relief. And here's the little bonus also. Let's see if I can get it, see where it is. There. It's got a little LED if you press and hold the button. Bonus, little flashlight on there. So cute little thing from Blow Me Cool, and a nice little thing that's unobtrusive and not super loud, so other people don't need to know about your night sweats and your hot flashes. All right, night sweats, not any fun, but hopefully you found something in this video that will be helpful, and I hope that you have. If you have any other suggestions, share them in the show notes so others can benefit from your knowledge. Thanks for watching. Flash on.